Hello, hello. Welcome to Pure Light Awakening. This is Nina, and I am here to talk about March, the month of March, energy update for March 2022. So if that's something that interests you, then stick around. Okay, so we have come to March month 2022 already. Now, I must say that January and February has passed real quick for me. And I am almost flabbergasted that we're already in March, but you know, it is what it is. So let's talk about March. So I'm filming this a week early, a week before the 21st of February. Sorry. So tomorrow is also the 22nd of February, which is the special number 22022022, which is kind of mirroring number, which is a lot of twos and a lot of balance and a lot of well, some people call it a portal even. So that's kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to what's going to happen on that day. But anyway, so I'm filming this 1 week ahead of the March beginning. So the kind of end of February. But anyways, what I've been feeling about March, I've been sitting down and I've been talking to my guides, and they have been very quiet about March. And I think it is because I feel like they're waiting. They're waiting for us to get to a certain point. Okay. If you're following this channel, that means that you are someone who is a seeker, someone who is spiritually interested, someone who is evolving, someone who is interested in energy, someone who is interested maybe in, the awakening process and ascension or whatever you call that. So you are in a growing spurt, is what I would say. You are evolving, you are waking up, you are seeing the truth for what it is, one step at a time, and you're dealing with maybe trauma or anxiety, or maybe you're dealing with things that you have been taught early in life that you see that it's no longer true for you. It doesn't resonate with you anymore. So you are on a path. If you have found this channel, it means that you are on a path that has to do with spirituality, right? Just to have that said to begin with. Okay. So my feeling for March is that because I asked what are the general energies of March, and they said, well, they don't want to talk about that so much. We will maybe get into it later in this video today. But what they wanted me to focus on was the individual journey or the individual development in each and every one. Because what they showed me to remind you of is that we are all sovereign beings. Us as light beings are all sovereign beings. We create our own life, okay? We as a higher self, we as a light being create the human life, okay? Whether you believe that or not. So you are that sovereign. You are at one with everything, which means you are at one with source energy, which means you're at one with God, if you want to call the source energy God, which means you are also part of that creation. You create, and so what are you creating for your own life? They want us to look at they want us to remind us that we are the creators, and they want us to look at, okay, what have you created for yourself in this life? What was it that you came to experience? Okay, because we come into this human experience to experience what it's like to be a human, to feel it, to experience it, to explore it, and to experience nature, experience Gaia, the earth, the oceans, the woods, the animals, all of those kind of things, and sense. We came in to feel what the human body can sense and what the human body can experience. So each and every one of us had individual paths because we have chosen different things before we came. So they want us to sink into that part of us that is eternal, to the light being, to the higher self, and we will find the answers in our own selves for our own path. However, so in that sense, everyone has their own unique experience and own unique life and own unique path that they're going on. We're not kind of all in the same box here in that sense. But the energies that I'm talking about every month has to do with Gaia, okay? Has to do with the time frame that we are in, this timeline and this time frame that we are in. What kind of energies can we as a collective consciousness this time around on the planet right now, what are we experiencing? Okay, so it's two different things really. Okay, so they just wanted to have that explained. But what they wanted us to focus more on was our individual journeys for March month, for this coming month. So my feeling was that they were kind of standing behind us here, waiting for us to reach a certain point, waiting for us to reach the point where we have that perspective, where we recognize that we are the creators, where we see what it is that we decided to experience before we came. Okay. Now that takes a lot of meditation, a lot of sinking down, a lot of stillness for the ego, still the ego mind, still the monkey mind, to be able to get totally into that part of you. So I feel like that's a task that they're inviting us to do for March, okay? To spend time in deep meditation, to gain that perspective and to find the answers for ourselves. So sit down with a book on your lap. Write down the questions that you would like the answers to. Then sink deep into meditation. Spend at least 20 minutes, half an hour, just sinking deep down until you feel like the monkey mind is totally still and you are at one with everything. Once that has been gained, then you can start asking the questions. Or then, you ask the questions before you sink down, but that's when the answers would start coming towards you. Maybe it will go quicker for some of you, of course, but for me at least, I feel like if I spend at least 20 minutes just sinking down, stilling the ego mind, and just coming to the point where I feel at one with everything, I feel the oneness, that's when I get the most clear answers to anything I need answers to. Okay. So I feel like that's a big task for us this coming month. And of course, in general, but especially now they ask me kind of to convey that. Okay, so but let's come to the general energies that we as humans are experiencing now on the planet. I mean, you chose this time to come. You chose to come in this time because, there are different timelines and there's different times that you could have chosen to come into. You could have chosen to come during the Industrial Revolution. You could have chosen to come during the Second World War to experience what war feels like. You could have chosen to come at the time when Jesus was alive to meet him and to see how he was as a human being. You could have chosen different times, and you might choose those times as well in other lives that you are living currently, because time doesn't exist on the other side, so there is no previous or future as a light being. It's all happening at once. So you might be experiencing those lives as well, but now I'm talking to the human in this time and age, in this life. Okay, so what are we experiencing here and now? Because you have chosen this life, maybe together with many other lives, but you have chosen this one as well. And in this time, we are experiencing what is called a shift in consciousness, what is called an awakening of the heart frequency, what is called an awakening of the individual needs, of what the individual desires, and following your heart desires. So this is a time where that's kind of on the menu. Okay. And they already know how that's going to go. Everything is kind of already set. You just chose to pop in here and experience that. So what is kind of in store for us? Well, I feel like, and this is not just for March. This is kind of moving, because taking 1 month at a time is kind of difficult, as in, yes, we can talk about the planets and how they are influencing Gaia, and maybe sunstorms, and maybe Schumann resonance, and maybe winds, and maybe political things going on, those kind of things. And that's kind of for a short period of time, of course. And how do we react to those kind of things? That's one discussion. But when it comes to what the earth plane is going through, and this shift that we're talking about, it's not just for 1 month, is it? It's for a long span of time. So I feel like it's not just for March, it's for a longer period of time that we are experiencing this shift into the heart frequency and to the individual person's needs. But of course, things are happening every month. There's different things going on the planet. People are protesting against forcefulness in any way, shape, or form, or they are protesting against being, forced out of a job, or into a job, or into an energy, or out of an energy, or they are kind of standing up for their own individual needs, and they are doing it from the heart space. I believe most of them are. So there is a huge shift, but it's going to take time. And so we kind of just take one step at a time in that process as a planet. Now, when it comes to the energies of the grids, I feel like they're almost done working with the grids. I know that there are some people traveling around the planet, also planting crystals in certain places, also kind of having a group of individuals come together to strengthen energies in one certain ley line or one certain place. So there is a lot of that going on as well. And I feel like the people working on the planet to do that, and also together with our star family that are here, especially Arcturians, working, and Pleiadians, working with the grid system of the planet, I feel like they're almost done. Okay, I feel like everything is almost in tune, if you will. So there is a big shift happening in that sense, is what I feel. I know that sunstorms has been quite frequent recently. I have been feeling it, especially on my physical form. It can rattle a little bit of an anxiety. Just be aware of that. For me, it happens very often, or normally it happens during nighttime, closer to the poles on the planet. So me living in Norway, quite far up, feel that very much during the nighttime. So from around, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight, maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning is when it's really heavy here. And it might be the same for Canada area, Greenland on the other side, probably Sweden, Finland, Russia, I would say Iceland. And of course, on the southern part is probably Australia and New Zealand, maybe also the southern part of Argentina, feeling these kind of energies extremely strong. So maybe also northern parts of the US, I would say, especially Alaska, of course. So we are feeling these energies of the sun, and that's of course when we have the northern lights here, which is beautiful, but at the same time it can rattle anxiety, and you can also get heat flashes, like you're in the menopause. You get those, oh, you just have to undress all of a sudden, or you feel anxious, or you feel like your body is vibrating. It can also feel like a quick vibration energetically. So that's also happening a lot now. And also the Schumann resonance is something you want to look at. And also, of course, how the planets are moving, because sometimes, there's huge celestial, these huge, I would say, celestial beings, the planets are, when they are moving, passing each other, it creates an energy field. It creates a shift in energies. So you might want to look at how the planets are also. And that's why kind of astrology works, because all of these planets, when they are working together and passing each other and moving around each other, it creates a shift in the energies. Okay. So I know that we have come out of Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde and all that, and I think that most planets are actually direct right now, which is really good. And I know Venus is quite close in the morning sky. I woke up the other morning here before the sun came up, and I saw Venus on the horizon, so bright, so beautiful. And so there's a lot of stuff that you might want to look into when it comes to those kind of things as well. And of course, we also react to the moon. You know, the moon energies, the full moon, and all the moon. When the moon kind of moves around the planet, of course, it pulls all the water in one direction and lets it go every day. So of course, we as humans, which are about 70% water, will also feel that in our physical form. Of course, we will. So you can look into all of these things as well, because I don't have all the answers. I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know all of these things. But there's lots of channels out there that knows more about these things, and or you can read up on it yourself. But be aware that your physical form will react to all of that, as well as it will react to low pressure, high pressure in the atmosphere. It will react to rain or snow. It will react to bumping up against other people, other human beings. It will react to animals. It will react to nature energies in general. It will react to energies being left behind by people who have passed, even because the energy stays in certain places. So be aware that all of these things are making you feel things. Okay, you are sensing all of these energies. So that's a lot to take in. That's a lot of energies to feel. And so because sometimes we feel like there's something wrong with me, or oh no, why did that happen? Oh, I'm feeling sad. Why am I feeling sad? It can be other kind of energies that you're bumping up against. So just be aware of that and look into what's happening around you in your environment when it comes to weather, planets, when it comes to the moon, when it comes to sunstorms, Schumann, you name it, and or energies that you're bumping up, people, or consciousnesses that you are bumping up against. So look into that. Okay, so what else was there that I was supposed to talk about? Spirit? Just a second. I think that was it now. Okay, so what I'm going to do just for the fun of it, I'm going to pull a couple of energy cards and a couple of moon cards and see what we get. And then I will close off with holding on to some crystals today. I will show you them later and see if they have some additional messages for us today. Because these are messages I got in a meditation before. So there might be messages that they want to give us while I'm here as well. So let's see. 3 cards just popped out onto the energy cards. So this popped out first. Door to personal healing and happiness. Number 34, which is a 7. Rest and rejuvenation. Number 19, which becomes 10, which is 1. And community, number 7. Okay, so let us feel into these energies. Let me have a sip of water and feel into the energies here. Yeah, okay. I'm very drawn to this image right here, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning of this video, is the need for meditation, a need to finding that true you, to feeling into your light being, to feeling into your higher self, to gain that perspective from that point of view. So that's very much about what I feel is important for this coming month, or in general, of course, but this is a March video. So the door to personal healing and happiness is always the same. It's inviting the light in. It's sinking down in a physical form through finding your breath, through doing the relaxation meditation. Come to think of it, I'll probably make some meditations and put those out on the channel as well in the future. I'll take a note of that. So I feel like it's very much about finding that balance within, taking the time to meditate now, finding your higher self and inviting more of the light and the Christ consciousness into your physical form. And that's the door to personal healing and happiness. Always, always the same, okay? If you're feeling lack in any way, shape, or form, it has nothing to do with the people around you. They are not here to fill up your cup. The light, God's source energy is here to fill up your light, okay? Or fill up your physical form, fill up your cup. So don't expect other people to do that for you, because they never have, a human being will never have that unconditional love that the source energy can give you, that the angels can give you. So don't expect them to, okay? That's not their job, okay? They have their own thing, they have their own life. So whenever you bump up against the feeling of lack, the feeling of I'm not loved, the feeling of why not me, the feeling of jealousy, the feeling of envy, the feeling of victimhood, all of that, and also addictions to alcohol, addictions to drugs, addictions to food, addictions to shopping, all of those kind of things, addictions to sex even, all of those kind of things means that there is something inside of you that is in need of something. And that something is the light. It's nothing else. It's the light. That's the only thing that can fill you up, okay? So nothing you do outside of you in the physical world is going to fill up that cup. It's only one source that can do that, okay? Just to have that said. So that is the door to personal healing and happiness, no matter what you are bumping up against, okay? But they're also talking about community here. For me, that is about joining with like-minded people, like this channel here. You know, we can talk to each other in the comment section. We can share stories. We can share information. You can join in a course if you want to with a spiritual teacher of your choice. You can, you know, join up with friends if you have friends that are like-minded or that are curious about the journey. You know, meet up, talk about it. You know, share it, talk about it. It's also part of what they have been encouraging us to do for such a long time, is to share this information, share what is the truth, at least for me, and maybe also for you, since you're watching this, that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, that there is more than this physical life. I mean, most people are curious about it. Some people are not, but most people are. So talk about it. Okay, so that's, I feel, is an encouragement. Let me just look underneath the deck. Storm warning. Okay. Yeah. What's that, Spirit? Okay. Oh, yeah. Now I get it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I forgot to say that when I was talking about the light, bringing the light in. So when you're bringing the light in, it can rattle all lower frequent energy. Like if you have energy of resentment, energy of anger, energy of grief, energy of jealousy, envy, as I said, anxiety, all of those kind of energies, they vibrate on a lower frequency. There's nothing wrong with those emotions. It's, when I say lower, it's not worse than or better than. It just is. It's just a vibration. And it vibrates on a lower frequency on the scale, on a number. And so it will rattle those energies up to come up, because the high frequent light is so potent and vibrates so quickly that when it hits these lower vibrational energies that vibrate very slow, very much slow, and this vibrates so quickly, it will rattle this energy, okay? And so it will come up. It will, the emotions of that energy will come up. And when it does, we have to feel it through. Don't try and run away from it, because that will only make it worse. So you have to feel it through. That's the thing. And if you need a hand to hold, then contact a psychologist or a therapist or a friend or someone you trust to hold your hand through that. But it's important, and that's the storm warning in this, is that when we bring that light in, it will rattle that old stuff up, and we have to be prepared for it, kind of. So that's what they said with the storm warning, okay? So that was that deck. Let us look at the other deck, which is the Moon Queen of the Moon Oracle. Is this one is called? So let's see what we get here today. I hope you're all doing well. If you have any questions for me, just pop them up in the comment section below. If you need more private, if you want to share something more private, you have to go over to my Instagram, which is in the link in the banner of my page, also below in the comment section. And then you can try and send me a personal message if you need to. But it's very good if we can kind of share at least some of what you're going through, maybe in the comment section below. And so other people might benefit from hearing from you as well. And there might be other people out there who's going through exactly the same thing that you're going through. So maybe it's a good thing that we can share. Okay. So that was one that popped out. Let's look at 2 more cards. I always like to have 3 cards. Just looking at time so we don't go very much over. So on the bottom of the deck, we had fear. Okay. So that might be something that comes up as well when we bring the light in. That will be fear and anxiety coming up. And yeah, all we can do is feel it through, people. I know that it's heavy and I know that it hurts, but that's the only way that we can deal with it. It needs to be felt, okay? It just needs to be allowed to come up, okay? So that was that. But the 3 cards that popped up was, the first card is beauty. And it's not just a plant and a butterfly. If you see closely, there's a face, a woman's face here. Do you see that? Very beautiful cards. So beauty, and the next one was peace. And you see she's again another card where we sit in meditation. Huge message this here, I feel. And then discernment. So you see that her mind is kind of clouded and a little bit dark, and that's of course the ego. And she's holding the gold ball over her heart here with the energy. So that's an invitation for heart space and getting away from the ego. But discernment is also, of course, what energies you bump up against and what energies you choose to focus on around you. I mean, you are the creator of your own life as a higher being. So what are you choosing as a human to focus on? Are you choosing to focus on what's not working, all the lack? Because the law of attraction will give you more of what you focus on. So if you're focusing on the lack, that's what you get more of. If you focus on what's working, what's great in life, what you appreciate, then that's what you get more of. So it's discernment in that sense, but it's also discernment with, if you bump up against people that give you dissonance, where, you know, dissonance is of course the opposite of resonance, where you feel like this doesn't feel right. I'm getting nauseous. I'm feeling a bad feeling in my stomach, or this person really makes, you know, pushes my buttons to make me be very angry, or those kind of feelings, then maybe it's time to say thank you, but no thank you. Okay. So be courageous enough to say no to the energies that no longer serves you, to the energies that are not good for you. I know in certain situations it can be very difficult, especially if it's a family member or a close friend or somebody you've been friends with forever. But isn't it time to take care of you? Isn't it time for you to be happy? Don't you deserve that? Of course you do. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have a good life. Maybe you chose only this one life here. Are you going to waste it? Are you going to just do what other people tell you to because that's the right thing to do? Or are you going to make sure that you're happy? So say no. Put your foot down. The energies that you bump up against that are not good for you, or you feel a bad feeling in your stomach, it's time to say no, okay? You're not supposed to tiptoe around anybody. You're not supposed to say yes when you really want to say no, okay? So that's the discernment card here. So the 2 cards that are remaining is beauty and peace. And this for me tells me see the beauty in everything, okay? That's what I hear. And they're saying everything, seeing the beauty in everything is being able to understand that everything that's happening to you is happening to you for a reason, because you have decided all of this. There is something that you have decided to experience. So even if it's ugly, you have decided to experience it. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in it, okay? You have experienced it, and then you're like, okay, now I know what that feels like. Now I can focus on something else, okay? But the beauty in it is that you got to experience it. You got to feel what that feels like. And as a higher being, as a light being, that is joy. That is part of why we came here. We came to feel this, we came to experience this. So your higher self will feel, so grateful for experiencing that, even though you as a human might feel that that hurts. Okay. So see the beauty in that, and see the beauty in, even though you as a human hurt, it's a gift in that now you know, and you can use it for something as well. You can share it. You can share that experience, or you can, whenever you bump up against that experience again, you know what to do now because you've been there. Okay. You become wiser in that sense. Okay. So see the beauty in everything that's happening to you, and also see the beauty in nature, I hear. Okay. Nature is our way home, is our way in. And Gaia is so beautiful and has so much things to offer. Okay. So wherever you live in the world, just go outside. There's always something beautiful, even if it's, a little piece of straw or flower growing out of concrete. There's always something beautiful to see. So use that to your benefit, is what I would say. And now, of course, the last card is peace. And they also said with the other one, personal happiness and harmony, and also peace, of course, is gained through meditation, is gained through finding that place within you that is eternal, logging on to your higher self. Okay. Was there anything else with this? Okay. Yeah. They're also saying, for some of you at least, that they're trying to contact you. They're trying to get a connection with you, not just for one time, but a connection that lasts, so that you can communicate. It can be star beings for some of you. It can be angels for some of you. It can be guides for some of you, or just the connection to source energy in general. But they're asking you to connect. And in our spiritual journey and in our spiritual awakening, that is very important. Okay. You have to remember that this is not home. That's home. Where they are communicating, that's home. That's what we truly are. Our true essence is what they are. So they want to remind you of that connection, because you were never actually separated. You are always connected, because you are part of everything. Everything is one. So that was never a disconnection, really. But you as a human just didn't realize that you were always connected. So they just want to remind you of that connection, and strengthening that connection again, and getting into that space where you remember that that's home. And this is just temporary. This is just a play that we're playing. This is just an amusement park that we are in currently, experiencing all sorts of things that we wanted to experience. That's simple. Okay. So cards away, and I'm going to just feel some crystals here in the end and see if there's more messages. I have, of course, my beautiful clear quartz that always gives me clear sight. I also have another clear quartz here. I also have raw green fluorite and a raw smoky quartz for grounding. I have some other crystals here as well, just a decoration, but they're around me, so I'll show them to you. This is a white howlite. Let me show you a little bit more. And then there is another raw green fluorite, and then there is selenite and selenite. And this is just a colored quartz, light blue. And then I have a rose quartz, and then I also have a very beautiful citrine. Okay, so that's the crystals, and I also have Shiva's eye actually here. So that's the crystals I have in front of me, but I'm going to hold on to the smoky quartz, the green fluorite, and the two clear quartz here when I do my connection today. And we'll see if there's somebody in spirit that wants to talk to us or want to convey more messages. Sometimes there is, most times there is, but sometimes there isn't. So I'm just open for anything, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to hold on to them for a little while and close my eyes. I encourage you to join me in a little meditation there. As I do this, close your eyes as well, find your breath. Make sure that you sink down in whatever you're sitting or standing or wherever you are. Just sink down in your physical form. Find your breath, close your eyes, and just relax for a bit, okay? Use this time to meditate a little bit like I've been inviting you to do. And we will see if there's some messages from Spirit, okay? Just a second. Okay. I haven't gotten a name or any identification of who is talking to me here, but it's always of light. I never invite in any darkness, so it's always from the light. But um, what they're saying to me, and sometimes I have to just say what I get first before I get more information. And so I was trying to get more information, but nothing came, so I just have to start, and then they will give me more. Okay. So this is about geometry. They showed me a different geometry, and I'll show you one crystal that I have in front of me because they showed me actually the symbol as well. They showed me this. So I don't know if you get a feeling when you look at the symbol, but they say that everything is a vibration. So geometry has a certain vibration. Colors has a certain vibration. I mean, everything that exists is vibrating on one frequency. It's giving off a feeling. It's giving off an energy, okay? And also geometric symbols give off certain energy. So some of you might be attracted to certain geometric things like the flower of life, tree of life, the Merkaba, and the Metatron Merkaba, you know, all of these kind of things. And use geometry also when you can put crystals on, you can draw your own, you know, you can feel into what kind of drawing you want, if you want circles or if you want straight lines or whatever from point to point on a piece of paper, and you can put your crystals on there, and it can be your own geometric grid, if you will. Okay, so they're talking about geometry, the vibration of geometry, and how you can use that for your own benefit. And they were giving me a sense of that we are the planet or the solar system that we are on. I mean, it moves of course with the galaxy, and so but certain things in certain places move faster than other places, and so things are shifting. And also like the planets around our solar system is in different places, you know, compared to each other in different times. So that will also create geometry where they are situated and where we are situated compared to other places in the galaxy, and where our galaxy is compared to other galaxies, and all of that. Everything is kind of geometry in that sense. So they made me also feel that we are in a certain kind of, they showed me a kind of a line that just went like this, and it kind of went there. And then I felt a vibration, a very refined, very quick vibration, almost like an electrical pulse coming through my physical form. Okay, so that might be something that we're feeling also, and has to do with where we are, where our planet is right now in the movement of the galaxy, actually where our solar system is, and how the planets are moving around in our solar system. There's something about kind of coming into alignment with something, and then we feel that vibration, that very quick vibration that makes it go boo, almost, almost like you stick your finger in the socket. Not that bad, but you know what I mean. It's just a feeling of electricity coming into your physical form. But that's actually also part of the um, the process of um, light activation, awakening in that sense, because and kind of where your frequency and your physical form is kind of heightened, that feels the same way. And so a lot of this geometry has to do with the light activation within our physical form, with the heightened of the frequency as well. So that was something they wanted me to convey. So let's see what else. Okay. Okay, what? Okay, I'm having somebody here, and there's not just one. I think there's three, and they're standing behind me here. And I feel like there's three kind of standing behind each other. And they almost look like the Arcturians, but they're not. There might be another similar species, but not. And actually, I cannot catch the name, but it starts with a G, is what I feel. It's So I don't know if there's a system out there that starts with a G, or a star people that starts with a G. I don't know if anyone has heard about that. Then please comment in the comment section. I'm just conveying what I see here, and it's really strange, but at least they're standing behind me, and I have a feeling that there's just a big letter G with them. They almost look like the Arcturians, but they're not as tall. They're a little bit smaller. Um, a very wide kind of forehead, I would say, wider here than here. Kind of smaller, very very subtle, very gentle, very heart frequency orientated. Um, they're very, very careful, very gentle. And that's why they're standing so far away from me. They're not close. They're like 2 meters behind me or something on that side. And they're almost whispering. They're very gentle. Let me just see what they have to say. Oh, okay. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is fun. Okay, they're talking about roots. He put his hand on my shoulder, the one that was in the front now, and his hand almost looked like roots, from a tree. It was really interesting, and he said roots. And what he showed me is that not only are, how trees, when they are all woven together with the roots, so they're actually one. So there's lots of roots underneath the surface, and then there's a tree here and a tree here, but they're actually part of the same kind of root system. He says the same is about the energies of the earth, and he says the crystals and the energies that goes underneath the surface are all connected. And he's showing me kind of where and how, because it's not just a grid around the planet, it's through the earth, and it's around, inside the earth, inside the underneath our feet. There's lots of ley lines going also through the earth and around the earth underneath us. And I haven't really thought about that before. I should have, but I haven't. And he just showed me that. So it can be a beam that goes from where I am through the planet to the other side, and somebody else might feel exactly the same thing. It's amazing. He just showed me that. And it's all going very quickly. All this energy going through all those ley lines through the planet very quickly. So it's not just the communication on the planet around the Earth that way. It's through. And they're all connected, you know, and that's maybe why they were showing me this as well, the geometry, because you see all of this is going through to each other here, but also through, you see that? That's what he was showing me. But this is kind of the planet. So it's not just the energies going around here and the grid on the surface. Look at all this inside, right? Wow, that was cool. That was fun. Oh, I would love to know their name though. I can't. Ga something. Oh, they're so gentle. Oh, they're giving lots of love and they're so gentle. I'm getting teary-eyed because I feel their presence and I feel their energy and they're so beautiful. But I never heard about them. But it's almost like they have a connection with the Arcturians. Okay, it's just kind of another family member almost of the Arcturians, but they're called something Ga. I can't get it. But I'm going to Google it when I'm done here for sure to see if anybody else has heard about these people. So beautiful, so gentle. Oh man, I love that. Oh, anyways, is there anything else? I hope my video won't all of a sudden cut out. I hope not. If they do, then I'm sorry. But I'm going to see if there's anything else. Okay, they want you to connect with them. They want you to feel them. They want you to be bold enough to open up for them, to teach you. For those of you very much in connection with Gaia and with nature and with ley lines and geometry energy, see if you can connect with them. And if you can get their name, please comment in the comment section. I personally have a feeling that it's Ga something, but I can't get the, maybe Ga, there, I think there's an R in there somewhere too, a little R, but I can't get it. So, but anyways, they want to connect and they want you to open up for them and they have so much to teach you. And for me, it was an epiphany right now, just see him showing me, and he just put his hand gently on my shoulder and boom, he just showed me all of this stuff. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Highly recommend connecting with it, okay? So if you can't find the name, you just, I want to connect with the people Nina talked to, and then we'll come. It's just where you have your attention, that's the energy you draw towards you anyways, right? I think I have to end it there, people, because it's already 47 minutes. I normally don't go this long in the video. So that's pretty much all I had for March. Maybe not a typical March or monthly energy video, but that's what they asked me to share. That's the information they wanted to give. And if I get more information, I will make another video about it, okay? But that's kind of all I had for now. So thank you so much for being part of this video today. Please comment in the comment section. Ask me questions if there is something you want to know. And I wish you the very best moving into this next month. Thank you so much for being here. Till the next time I see you.